Hello everyone, welcome to the daily news analysis of nextias. This is Varun. Today we will discuss 5 important articles from two newspapers, The Hindu and Indian Express. First we will discuss from the explained section, that is prelims. For first article is Cities Coalition for Circularity. Second article will be regarding copper. Third article is regarding Gangetic Dolphins survey, and fourth article is regarding India's agriculture export. Then we will discuss further our mains article, which we discuss in the decoded section. Today's discussion will be regarding India-UK relation. So we are not wasting the time and jumping to the discussion. Our first article today is regarding Cities Coalition for Circularity. The backdrop of this article is India on Monday has launched the Cities Coalition for Circularity. Our Honorable Prime Minister has launched this. What is the relevance of this article? So the relevance of this article, which can be come into the prelims examination in area of current events of national and international importance. The headline of the article is India launches multi-nation alliance for collaboration on sustainable development. Now, let us see what this coalition is about. So, about Cities Coalition for Circularity, the article says that it is a multinational alliance. So, this itself can be framed as a question. This topic can come into the prelims in form of multi-statement question. What is the objective of this alliance? C2C collaboration, then knowledge sharing, private sector partnership for sustainable urban development. So this coalition basically focuses on three areas. First area is city to city collaboration, second is knowledge sharing, and third is private sector partnership for sustainable urban development. Now, this initiative was launched also at a platform that is known as 12th High Level Regional 3R and Circular Economy Forum in Asia and Pacific. At this particular meeting, this platform was launched. Now let us see what is this 12th Regional 3R and CEF in Asia and the Pacific platform. It was happened in Jaipur. This forum was launched in 2019, and what is its objective? Regional cooperation for sustainable waste management and circular economy initiatives in rapidly urbanizing and industrializing Asia Pacific. So this particular forum was launched for the promotion of sustainable waste management and circular economy initiatives. Now, it also focuses on 3R. The word 3R is reduce, reuse and recycle. This we from time to time we keep hearing about this 3R. Sometimes also there is 5R. So 3R means reduce, reuse and recycle. It will help to strengthen global and regional commitments with a focus on resource efficiency, climate resilience and environmental sustainability. Three areas will be focused here again. So resource efficiency, climate resilience and third will be environmental sustainability in line with India's advocacy for P3. P3 is a term which we from time to time again hear, even reiterated by our Prime Minister, pro-planet people approach. Now, let us understand something more information about this forum. It is a major milestone in the context or in the backdrop of Hanoi 3R declaration, which happened in 2013 to 2023. So this itself can be framed as a question in a statement form. UPSC can ask that this was related to this or not. And this Hanoi declaration has outlined 33 voluntary goals for shifting towards a more resource efficient and circular economy. So basically this complete initiative is regarding sustainable and circular economy. Another flagship initiative which is related to this thing is Cities 2.0. So even this can be asked in our prelims examination. It focuses on integrated waste management and climate action. Then there is another declaration, 3R and Circular Economy Declaration, which is in line with the Hanoi 3R Declaration. In Hanoi, it was only 3R, now it is 3R and Circular Economy Declaration, which will be for 2025 to 2034. It focuses on transformational changes in resource and waste management. This forum has been actively negotiating for a global plastic treaty. There has a lot of negotiation going for to reduce plastic waste, and this forum is again focusing on this. So these all things can be framed as a statement and can be asked because UPSC many a times focus on environment initiative questions. Some other details are like, what was the theme of this forum? Realizing circular societies towards achieving SDGs and carbon neutrality in Asia Pacific. It is organized by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, first thing. Second, UNCRD, that is United Nations Region Center for Regional Development, and then IGES, that is Institute for Global Environmental Strategies. It is being supported by our UNESCAP, that is United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. Beside it, Japan has also supported, and Ministry of Environment. Now let us through a practice question try to understand that which type of question can be framed on this topic. So consider the following statement about Cities Coalition for Circularity. It has been jointly designed by the World Economic Forum and Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. It aims to achieve sustainable urban development through collaborative efforts between cities in the Asia Pacific region. So this is our humble approach. Kindly mark your answer in our comment section. Your PS will review. There has another article has come into our newspaper, that is regarding Adit L1, which we have already covered in one of our episode of DNA on 1st March 2025. So kindly refer the article and try to understand the nuances. The headline of today's article is ISRO releases second set of scientific data from Aditya mission. Our next article is regarding copper. So the backdrop of this article is India, China and the US are in race to secure copper for EVs and clean energy. What is the relevance of this article? So this can come under our prelims section in the area of issues of international importance, India and world geography. So this can be asked itself as a factual information or regarding mapping or regarding trend of import and export. We will look further into the further slide. Now the headline of this article is race to secure copper, decoding recent moves by India, China, US. This article has come into the Indian Express newspaper. So first let us understand where copper is being used. It is being used in electrical and electronic segment, then renewable energy also, which is a very important sunshine sector, construction and infrastructure. In electrical and electronics, it is regarding power cables, wiring, electric vehicles, printed circuit boards, which we commonly call as PCBs, then construction and infrastructure, plumbing, water pipes, we all see in our daily life, roofing and cladding, 5G networks. It is very important for 5G networks also, especially for fiber. Then renewable energy, solar panels, wind turbines, battery storage system. So these are the plethora of application of this copper. Now why copper mining is very important and strategic? Increased demand. So what has happened over the period of time, because the application of copper has increased, especially in the renewable energy sector, that's why it is becoming strategic, and demand has outspread supply from mines by 2035. This article is saying that by 2035 there will be a situation which will call that demand will be more than supply for especially copper. What are domestic challenges of India? The article is saying that copper is listed as a critical mineral because India does not have that much amount of strategic reserve, or we can say reserve of copper. Domestic ore production already has fell 8% from 2018-19 to 2023-24. Also, there are cases and issues regarding sterlite copper production which was in Tamil Nadu. So these all factors are also creating problem. India has large deposits, but extensive exploration is required. So India has reserve, but the reserves are not proved, they are not explored. So even exploration stage has not started. India's copper ore has a low metal content of less than 1%, that is also an issue, whereas at international level average is 2.5%. So mining copper in India is relatively less effective or less profitable as compared to other parts of the world. International dynamics. Let us also understand what are the international dynamics which is happening regarding this copper sector. Africa's growing role. Africa has a lot of critical minerals and copper is one, lithium is another, natural graphite is there. Democratic Republic of Congo, that is DRC, is said to become world's second largest copper supplier by 2030. That's why Africa is becoming a very significant player. Then what is the China's role in this area? China controls half of the world's smelting. After when the ore is being extracted, it goes through the process which is known as smelting and refining. So China has half of the world's smelting. That's make a huge dependency on China again. Overall supply chain is tightening. What is the role of US? Dependent on foreign imports, US is also dependent. Then US has significant copper reserves, like India also has significant copper reserves but lacks smelting and refining capacity. Even India has not entered into the stage of exploration. Let us understand some of the facts about copper which can be asked in our examination. Before that, there is a map of India also which is showing some of the prominent regions which is highlighted which are related to copper mining or where the ores are already existing or there is probability. Like there is Jhunjhunu, Alwar. In Rajasthan, MP, most of the copper mines are there. We can see from here that more are here, and in Rajasthan area more of the copper mines are already there. In Jhunjhunu, Ajmer, Pali, Sirohi, then Udaipur, Bhilwara, Jaipur, these are the most prominent regions. Beside it, in the next slide, we will see particular mines which are related to copper. Then in our Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh region, Palmau is there, Balghat is there. So these are important places where copper is proved that there are reserves. Chile is the top producer of copper in world. It produces about 27% of world's copper right now, not in future. We have seen about DRC, but DRC is projected. Right now, Chile is the leading producer of the copper and it is 27%. India imports its copper from many countries including Indonesia, Chile, Australia, Peru, Panama. Japan is also one of the important country. There is a data regarding this. India imports 30% to 40% of its refined, not ore, refined copper needs including rupees 16,500 crore from Japan in 2030 to 24. So Japan is the country which is supplying India a lot of refined copper because the issues of various copper smelters has been closed down, like we have already heard about in Tamil Nadu, sterlite issue was there. Then Madhya Pradesh is the leading producer of copper, this is fact, and Rajasthan is second largest. So this factual information can be asked in the examination itself. Then various copper mines which we have talked about. One is Malakhanj mine. This is located in MP. Then Kolihan mine. This is situated in Rajasthan. These are very important mines. So you have to just remember the name of these mines. Question itself can be asked like which of the following are mines related to copper. Then Khatri mine. This is one of the most famous and one of the oldest mines in India which is situated in Rajasthan. Then Banwas mine which is again in Rajasthan. After that Surda mine which is located in Jharkhand region of the India. Now about the copper demand is rising sharply because of various increased application, and with major economies scrambling to secure long-term supply chains, India, China and US are also investing in overseas copper rich regions, particularly in Africa like DRC and others. For example, India has Kabil, that is Khanij Bidesh Nigam Limited, which is focusing on strategic allocation, strategic investment in various reserves or various sources which are located in other part of the world. Now through a practice question, we will understand which type of question can be asked on this particular topic. So consider the following statement regarding copper. Copper is a critical mineral used in electric vehicles. India's copper ore has a higher metal content than the global average. China controls over 50% of the world's copper smelting and refining capacity. Which of the following given above are correct? So this is our humble approach based on what you have gone through our video. You can answer this. Kindly mark your answer in our comment section. There is another article which has come into our today's newspaper about private landing on moon. This article has come into Indian Express newspaper. Headline is after successful private landing on moon, more missions to follow. So this again has been covered in our one of the episode of DNA on 3rd March 2025. Please watch the video and understand the nuances. Now we will discuss another article which has come into today's both the Hindu and Indian Express newspaper about Gangetic dolphins. The backdrop of this article is India's first comprehensive river dolphin survey estimates 6,327 dolphins in the Ganga, Brahmaputra and Indus river basins. Remember, it is first comprehensive survey. What is the relevance of this topic? It can be asked under the environment and ecology section of prelims examination. The headline of the article is study finds 6,327 Gangetic dolphins across 4 states. And the other headline which has come into Indian Express, India has 6,327 river dolphins finds first population survey. Now let us understand what the news is. So the news says that there are average 3,275 dolphins in main stream of the Ganga. So Ganga river, main stream of the Ganga river has highest 3,275. Then its tributaries had 2,414, that is 2,414 dolphins. And in Brahmaputra river, main stream, it is 584, and in its tributaries 412. Beside it, 101 in the river Beas is also found. There is also, the report is saying that 3 in this river dolphin is also found. So this is very important. The examiner in prelims examination can itself frame the statement in this manner that there is no Indus river dolphin found in the survey, but there is 3, only 3. Maximum number of dolphins were reported in Uttar Pradesh, then Bihar, then West Bengal, and further Assam. Both Uttar Pradesh and Bihar has more than 2000 plus dolphins. So this is the factual information which can be itself be used to frame a question in our prelims examination in environment section. Now try to let us understand about dolphin itself. So there are 3 types of dolphin in India. First is Ganges river dolphin. These mostly are freshwater. These all 3 types are freshwater. Ganges river dolphin, its IUCN status is endangered. Its scientific name is Plantinista gangetica. The status under Wildlife Protection Act 1972, it is provided Schedule 1, and its habitat is fresh river water. Its importance is it is declared as National Aquatic Animal of India in 2009. So these are some factual information which can be twisted and asked. Beside it, about Indus river dolphin, it is again endangered. Its scientific name is Platanista minor. It is also under Schedule 1 of WPA 1972 Act. Its also habitat is freshwater rivers. Then last is our Irrawaddy dolphin. It is critically endangered. It is mostly found in the Irrawaddy region. Its scientific name is Oracella brevistoris. Its WPA status again is Schedule 1. Habitat is lakes, rivers, estuaries. So these are some of the important dolphins on which you should know about. Beside it, there are also saltwater dolphin about which you should further read. Now, what is the importance of river dolphins? It is indicator of a healthy river, that the river is healthy if the number of dolphins are up to an optimum level. Beside it, it is also an umbrella species. Means, what is the meaning of umbrella species? That conservation benefits the entire ecosystem. If we are going to focus on umbrella species, what will happen? Then that will help to conserve all other organism, even flora and fauna, whichever in that particular ecosystem. That's why they are called umbrella species, and all the projects mostly focus on umbrella species for conservation effort. River dolphin can act as an indicator species also in a degraded freshwater system. So it is both a indicator species and umbrella species. Indicator species help us to identify whether the ecosystem or the system is sustainable or not, or healthy or not. So in the article itself, there is mentioned about the survey methodology which is used. This is important because when there was M stripes used for tigers, so UPSC has asked question on that particular. For tigers, it is basically they use stripe. For elephant, like they use their ears. In this case, it was very challenging. So what method they use? Acoustic hydrophones. So they have used acoustic hydrophones, underwater microphones they are known as, to detect dolphin sounds that pick up sounds emitted by the dolphins. So dolphins releases some sound and which is being accepted or which is being detected by acoustic hydrophones. Then observers sit on the boards and use triangulation method to avoid double counting. So they were using like 2 or 3 people's data were being used and then triangulated in a format so that all should verify same and there should not be duplication. There was some challenges in counting, like dolphins surface only occasionally, that's why we have to adopt this method. Unlike tiger or elephant, dolphins lack unique physical features which can be individually marked. Now, there are some threat to river dolphins like fishing nets problem, river pollution, especially regarding industrial and agricultural waste are going, and that is creating problem. Then habitat destruction like river dredging, dam construction. Beside it, poaching, that is illegal hunting issue is also there. A lot of poaching is being done which needs to be prevented. Some conservation effort by government already has taken, like Project Dolphin 2020. We already were discussing about the umbrella species. As dolphin is umbrella species, that's why Project Dolphin focus on dolphin, and it helps to completely focus on sustainable conservation of the area to protect both river and marine dolphins. This Project Dolphin is not only related to Gangetic but marine and river. It is a 10-year long initiative. Beside it, the next survey may be happen after 4 years. Mostly, most of the surveys either 4 years or 2 years. So this will being predicted that 4 years. It is not still announced clearly, but maybe the trend is. There is a practice question to understand how a question can be framed on this topic. So let us understand. Consider the following statement regarding river dolphin conservation in India. All the 3 dolphins in India are critically endangered. River dolphins serve as a keystone species for maintaining a healthy river ecosystem. Project Dolphin was launched in the year 2022. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? So this is our humble request. Kindly mark your answer. Your peers will review. There is another article which has come into today's newspaper about SphereX. So this has come under the backdrop of NASA to launch SphereX to explore what happened right after Big Bang. This again we have covered in one of our episode of DNA on 27 Feb 2025. Kindly refer the article and watch the episode, understand the nuances. Now, our next article is regarding India's agriculture export. This article has come in the backdrop of India's agriculture export have risen 6.5% from $35.2 billion to $37.5 billion in period April to December of the last year. What is the relevance of this article? It can be asked in the Indian economy section of our prelims examination. The headline of the article itself says India's agriculture export. This article has come into our Indian Express newspaper. So let us understand what the article says. First, we are seeing there is a bar chart which shows the trend. So here you cannot understand that there is a change in any, there is particular change. There is no direction. For example, it started increasing, then decreasing, and then again increasing and then decreasing. This is the type of trend, because UPSC sometimes can ask last 10 years the agricultural export has only increased or only decreased. This is the type of trend they can ask, but from here we can understand the change. So the article says that agriculture export has risen from $35 billion to $37 billion, whereas total merchandise export has increased only by 1.9% and agricultural export 18.7% from $24 to 29.3. This is the imports. Agriculture imports has also increasing simultaneously to export from $24.6 billion to $29.3 billion. At same time, total merchandise import has increased by 7.4%. Overall, there has been a reduction in the trade surplus. Earlier what India has a benefit that they have trade surplus in case of agriculture export, not in complete merchandise. But this is also decreasing from $10 billion in 2023 to 24 to $8.2 billion in this year. So there is also a decreasing trend, that is concern. Now, why this trade surplus is narrowing? Because earlier India is always a net agricultural exporter, but surplus has fluctuated over the year. In our last bar chart which has come into the newspaper itself is also showing this. Peak trade surplus was $27.7 billion in 2013 to 14, and it declined again. This trend itself can be asked in prelims examination. It fell to 8.1 and again further increase. So that's the fluctuation is there. Recently again declined from $16 billion to further in 2024 to 25, which we have seen in the data itself. What is the primary reason? Export trends which fell initially due to low global commodity prices. It particularly happened post COVID and Russia-Ukraine war. Now let us understand what are the drivers of export for India in agriculture sector, especially this itself can be asked. Like first important thing is marine product. India usually export marine products but There is also a decrease in the marine products from $8.1 billion to $7.4 billion. This itself can be framed as a question and asked in the examination. What are the key markets for India? US, China and EU are the primary marine product market for India. What are the potential risks? Tariff measures by President Donald Trump. He is announcing a lot of tariffs which can be pushed on the imports from other countries. Then second important area for India is rice, and especially non-basmati rice, but in last some years we will see in further table that basmati rice is also catching up. So the rice is a very important segment and commodity which India exports a lot. Then there is sugar and wheat. So India's export of sugar fluctuates from time to time. It is not constant also, but India is a significant exporter of sugar in normal years. So sugar exports fell sharply from $5.8 billion to only $2.8 billion. So it is a huge reduction in exports. Wheat export has also collapsed from $2.1 billion to $1.5 billion. And then there is spices, coffee and tobacco. So here India has benefited from droughts in Brazil and Vietnam, which boosted India's export. Crop failure in Brazil, Zimbabwe increased demand for Indian tobacco also. In tobacco sector, same thing has happened. So India remains top exporter in some areas like chili, mint products, cumin, turmeric, coriander and fennel. So these are the some of the factual information which has been coming from the article itself. Now, from this table, we can understand that marine product, this has been decreased. Basmati rice, to the surprise, basmati rice has increased and non-basmati rice is decreasing. So this type of question can be framed in the prelims examination itself, that basmati rice export has been decreasing or increasing. This trend you have to keep in the mind, not the exact number. Same with the case of sugar, you can see sugar has drastically reduced. Fruits and vegetables, it has increased. In the case of oil seeds, again we can say it is increased, but a slight increase, not that much drastic increase. Same raw cotton, again it has increased. So these are the particular areas which you should focus. What are the driver of imports? As we have seen that imports in agriculture case is also increasing. So what are the drivers? First thing is pulses. So what has happened? Imports were low in 2017 to 23, but due to poor crop in 23 to 24, again this import has increased in case of pulses. In case of edible oil, India is always dependent on imports. So what has happened? This year it is very much high import is being predicted. $19 billion in 2021 to 22 has happened, and 22 to 23 it was $20.8 billion. That is huge chunk of forex revenues going in import of edible oil. There is also some import of cotton. After post BT cotton, the article is saying post BT cotton was has happened, India become net exporter, but in last year it has again become net importer of cotton, raw cotton especially. So from the data we can see that in 2023 to 24, export fell to $1.1 billion, while imports rose to 84.2% to $918 million. So from here we can again see that India has again become a net importer. This itself can be framed as a question. About spices, we have already seen that India exports a lot of spices, but also started importing some like pepper, cardamom. So we are importing more than we are exporting in this section. These are the key areas which we can look into these table. Like vegetable oil, we can see in 2022 to 23 it was $20 billion, then it reduced to $14 billion. Pulses, it has increased more than 1.5 times. So this trend can be asked. Even raw cotton, it has decreased. So you can from this table itself understand the trend, and if there is any question framed on the trend, you can answer. Now, in conclusion, the article says that agricultural exports are growing but at a slower pace than import. So what is happening? Ki exports are increasing but imports are rapidly increasing, which is causing narrowing trade surplus. This itself can be framed as a statement and can be twisted to ask in the prelims examination. Government restriction on sugar and wheat is also causing problem, and that is also leading to decrease in exports. Imports of pulses and edible oils have surged because domestic supply shortage is there. And finally, future trajectory will depend on global commodity prices, trade policies and domestic production trends. Now, through a practice question, let us try to understand which type of question can be asked. So this is a PYQ question. Statement 1, India accounts for 32% of global exports for good. Statement 2, many local companies and some foreign companies operating in India have taken advantage of India's PLI scheme. So such type of questions can be framed on the agricultural commodities itself. So this is our humble request, kindly mark your answer and put in our comment section, your peer will review. Now we will discuss about our mains article, which is regarding decodage section. The article is about India-UK relation. The backdrop of this article is our Honorable External Affairs Minister, Mr. S. Jaishankar, will visit the Republic of Ireland and UK this week for 6 days to deepen ties with both countries. So this article is covered in both newspapers, The Hindu and Indian Express. The article says that EM to visit UK, Ireland to strengthen bilateral ties. The other article which has come into our Indian Express, Ukraine trade talks on table as Jaishankar visits UK today. So what is relevance of this article? This can be asked in our mains examination, especially in international relations paper, that is GS2 paper. There has been a PYQ related to this topic. The PYQ is not directly related to India-UK relation, but it is related to the UK and in the geopolitical context. The newly tri-nation partnership AUKUS is aimed at countering China's ambition in the Indo-Pacific region. It is going to supersede the existing partnership in the region. Discuss the strength and impact of AUKUS in the present scenario. This question itself has come into the PYQ in the form of PYQ in mains examination 2021. Now let us understand what we will cover in this our discussion of this post segment. We will discuss about the historical timeline, that is the background of India-UK relation, then about the areas of cooperation, and then various challenges arising in the relation and what should be the way forward for India-UK relationship. So now let us start with the historical background. We will discuss it in a brief manner, try to understand, because India-UK historical background is almost known by each and every Indian. So in 1600, East India Company established and came to the India. In 1757, the famous Battle of Plassey, which provided British control over Bengal, it happened, and that given control of Bengal to Britishers. Then in 1858, these are some of the landmark years. We are just covering few to let understand and revisit the historical era in which India-UK relationship started. So British Crown takes direct control of India in 1858. Then in 1947, due to the various efforts of our freedom fighters and nationalists, India got independence from British rule. In 1949, India joined Commonwealth as a republic. This Commonwealth is a group, we all know, and India joined it as a republic. That is very important. During 1940s to 1990s, the Cold War era was going on, and during that period, even UK joined European Union also, so trade relations also decreased. Beside it, various geopolitical restructuring happened during Cold War era. There was bipolar, then post 1990 it was unipolar, in which especially after the end of World War II, UK as a global superpower recedes, and there was the rise of US particularly, and that's why India-UK relationship was not that much important post-colonial period. Then in 1990s, what happened? Economic liberalization has happened, and that opened Indian market again, and various investors from UK itself come back. Then in 2004, India and UK has signed a strategic partnership agreement, which has been in 2021 again upscaled, and it is known as India-UK Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, which was signed between two countries. In 2022, India and UK post-Brexit, UK was looking for particular markets and looking for free trade agreements negotiations. So it started with India in 2022, but it was not being concluded till now, and it has again been restarted. The article itself says that this has been restarted. In this backdrop, also our Honorable External Affairs Minister is visiting UK. In 2025, what has happened? EM is visiting again. Now, let us understand what are the various areas of cooperation on which India-UK relationship is based. First is about geopolitical cooperation, in which most important is 2+2 dialogue, that is foreign and defense ministers sit and 2+2 dialogue is there. Only with few countries India has this provision, like US is there, Russia is there, so only with few countries India is doing 2+2 dialogue, and UK is one of that. Then UK also support India's bid for permanent seat in the UNSC, that is United Nations Security Council, for permanent seat. Beside it, they also cooperate at G20 for global trade, economic stability and climate change. So these are some of the geostrategic areas where cooperation is there. Beside that, India is also Commonwealth member, already we have seen that. So there is also cooperation in that arena. There is also cooperation in economic ties, second area where important cooperation is happening. India itself has put a target of $2 trillion export by 2030 through our new foreign trade policy. So new foreign trade policy has put this target for that India will achieve $2 trillion by 2030. And what will be the mechanism? Mostly it will be enabled through FTAs, like Australia already we have concluded, UAE we have concluded, and we are looking for more. India-UK FTA is right now under which condition? Let us see through the data and some specific points which have been mentioned in the article itself. So India exports to UK $12.9 billion, whereas India imports from UK $8.4 billion. 91% of UK exports to India face moderate to high tariff. So that's why they need a FTA, so that they can be able to have easy access to their markets. There are various high tariff products like cars, 100% tariff, Scotch, whiskey and wines, again 150%. India is UK's 11th largest trading partner, while UK ranks 14th for India. So these two are very important players, but still they are not doing a lot of trade due to especially high tariff rates. Other areas like India-UK FTA is still going on. It started in 2022 and it aims to double bilateral trade to £80 billion by 2030. It covers 26 chapters. There are 26 chapters into India-UK FTA and 24 was agreed, but still 2 which were thorny issues is still not resolved, but over the period of time government is trying to negotiate and solve those issues. What are various key issues in these FTA negotiations? India's demand greater mobility and visa access for skilled professionals. So India is a human resource rich country. That's why India wants that their human resource should be provided mobility. UK demands lower tariffs on automobiles and alcohol and greater access for services sector. Beside it, UK's carbon tax and India's FDI restrictions are also creating regulatory complexes, because these are not specifically designed to create problem in the relation, but these create trade barriers. This create that the investment from the industry should be more higher. They need to pay more like carbon taxes. So this is why it is also creating problem in the relations sometimes. Whereas areas of cooperation in another sector like trade and investment. So there is roadmap 2030 which encourages, this roadmap increases UK investment in India, especially in manufacturing sector and through PLI scheme. So this roadmap encourages it. Other platforms are also there, which is some are formal, some are non-formal, created itself by business class, business segment, India UK JETCO, CEOs Forum, UK IBC, and then Global Indian Forum. These all forums are being made for the purpose to discuss various issues related to trade and investment and facilitate easy moving of capital investment in two countries. There is an important area of cooperation regarding defense, and in defense various joint exercises already and visits are being done between two countries, like Ajay Warrior is there, Konkan is there, exercise Konkan, exercise Cobra Warrior is there, where parallelly there are various visits by naval ships, like UK Royal Naval Ship has visited, INS Tarangini is visiting. So these are important cooperation in defense segment. Beside it, defense trade potential is also high. So right now India is only having 3% imports from UK in form of defense equipment. But as India is trying to diversify from Russia in defense imports especially, so that's why UK can be an important player for India to substitute Russia. It also will be able to promote technology transfer in especially advanced defense capabilities. Beside it, there is Open General Export License, which is in short form OGL, which has been in 2022, through which UK first such licenses for an Indo-Pacific country, that is India, easing military tech exports to India. So these are some of the important defense areas which is also between India UK. There is some other cooperation which is going regarding Indo-Pacific. So as UK itself was a colonial power, and due to that it has legacy, some islands is there, so that's why it is an active player in Indo-Pacific region also. So India mostly focus in Indo-Pacific region about stability and a rule-based order which will counter China influence. UK is collaborating with India on various fora like IORA, Indian Ocean Rim Association, Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, that is IONS, then IPOI, that is Indian Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative. Beside it, there are some institutional mechanism between India and UK also to have cooperation in this area. India-UK Cyber Security Dialogue and Counter-Terrorism Dialogue, which further strengthen their cooperation in defense and security areas. The most important pillar which we can say for the area of cooperation between India and UK is people-to-people ties. Due to historical reason, India has a very huge chunk of population of Indian origin. So political influence of Indian diaspora is increasing. We can see that a lot of Indian origin politicians are rising. Even earlier Prime Minister was also from the Indian origin. Then there is Indian diaspora, which is called as model minority. Indian diaspora, wherever is going, it is becoming a model minority because of excellence in various fields. They excel in their field, and that's why they are being respected and treated in a very good manner. British Indian community forms about 1.6 million, which is 2.5% of UK's population. And the very good thing is that they are not spread throughout the UK, but in most prominent areas, and that's why their vote or their voice is significant in UK's politics also. There is economic contribution also, 6% of the British economy. Only 2.5% people are providing 6% of the British economy. So that's very important and significant. Beside it, India also provides a lot of skilled workforce and student. So India is largest benefactor of UK's highly skilled migrant program since 2002. So UK has this program to facilitate movement of students and provide them skill. Beside it, Indian students in UK form the largest group of international. 25% of all British study visa goes to Indian, and that's also a huge. This creates much more important P2P connectivity. Then over the period of time, some challenges are also between these two countries in their relationship, like geopolitical difference. For example, India has taken a neutral stance on Russia-Ukraine war, whereas UK has a strong opposition to Russia, so that sometimes create friction. Beside it, Khalistan and extremism concerns is also a very important and thorny issue. Like attacks on the Indian High Commission in London in 2023 happened, and which also created some tension in the ties. Then there are some visa and immigration related problems, like strict UK visa policies for Indian professional and students is also a concern, for which also India and UK are negotiating in FTA. And then trade and economic issues like delayed FTA. FTA negotiations are going over the period of time, but still it is not being concluded. After that, extradition, like extradition of some of fugitives which India wants back because they have done some wrong here and went to UK and taken, like Vijay Mallya is there, Nirav Modi is there, and India want back them. Then there is issue of illegal immigration is also there, like over 1 lakh Indians are being said that they are illegal immigrants. So these are creating some problem. But these two countries through various mechanisms have created that they can sell out through these areas, and even our EM in recent context is visiting to resolve some of the thorny issues. So way forward for these two countries is, first they should focus on expediting their FTA and improve their trade relation, achieve the target of pound 80 billion by 2030 in trade. Then there should be some aggregate on migration and mobility. UK should be liberal in this particular aspect, try to have a rational view and focus on migration and mobility also. There should be enhancement of strategic ties in Indo-Pacific, because the naval power of UK is strong, it has advanced capabilities, so India and UK can collaborate in this region, especially under the influence of China. Strengthening defense and security cooperation, like development or like emerging areas, cyber security, cryptocurrency. So in these areas they can sit together and form the rule based order. So let us, through a practice question, try to understand that which type of question can be asked, and this is our humble request, try to write this answer and post in our comment section. Discuss the significance of India UK FTA in strengthening bilateral economic ties. What are the key sectors that could benefit from this agreement? So for this, in introduction, we can write about that since 2022 India and UK are trying to negotiate a free trade agreement, but due to some thorny issues still it is unresolved and they have again restarted. So this is a current affairs based introduction. In body part, as it is 15 marker, first we can write about the significance. Some of the significance itself we have covered in this segment, and then in another you can talk about which are the areas which will benefit, and because it is 15 marker, again we can talk about some of the challenges itself in the body, and conclusion should be a way forward like conclusion. So that should be the approach for this 15 marker answer. Please write the answer and post in our comment section. So this is our humble request. Please like our video, comment on our video, share our video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.